What's up, creatures of the night? So originally I had a different episode planned for today, but in light of seeing some weird stuff the other day, I'm going to actually present this old version of my Beast of Gevaudan paranormal report, because the thing that I saw with one of my friends just kind of reminded me of this creature that everybody saw so long ago back in France. We were driving back to my house, and I live out in the middle of nowhere. It was about 6 o'clock at night, and this big canine-looking creature ran right in front of my buddy Kevin's car. I was in my car behind him. He got a way better look at this thing, but from what I saw too, I don't think it was a dog or a coyote. It was too big for that. It was huge, and if we had wolves in this area, I would have said it could have been a wolf, but there's nowhere around here where there'd be any type of wolf. So I don't know if it was maybe a coy dog or if it was something paranormal, but you know me, my mind tends to drift over to the paranormal aspect of life, so I don't know what it was. It just really got me thinking about the Beast of Gevaudan, and I had a lot of fun doing this report in the past, so I want to do it again on this new channel. And I do have camera traps that I have that I'm going to put out there, see if I can catch anything. We put them out that night, but I didn't catch anything at all. Usually one of the cats will walk by and trip the sensor on the cameras, and we'll get a couple of pictures of one of the cats, but that night there was absolutely no activity. So I don't know if that was because of whatever this creature was that was walking around out on the property, or if it was just a coincidence. But the only pictures on that camera trap were of me when I set it up and of me when I got it in the morning. So I know it was on because there were pictures of me on there. But like I said, usually there's at least a cat or two that trip the pictures, and we have a family of foxes that are out there too that kind of play around by the cameras, but that night, absolutely nothing. So I want to present this one to you again. It is a rerun, but I hope you enjoyed it the first time enough to listen to it again. And then a quick update on my book, because I know a lot of you guys have been asking about it. Right now, we're in phase 3, which is editing grammar. I have a buddy that is going to draw up the cover for me, and then it's all about getting it formatted to put it on probably Amazon, and then this book, my first novel, will be ready to go. And I'm super excited about it. I've been really working hard on it. If anybody remembers, I started writing this thing about 2.5 years ago, right when all this COVID crap started. So it's been a long time coming, but I've put a lot of work into it, and I've put a lot of sweat and tears into this, and a lot of creativity, and I hope that you guys are as pumped about this book as I am. So as soon as that's out, of course, there will be a link on this channel for you to go check it out. That's all I got tonight, guys. I hope you enjoy this paranormal report, and let's get some discussions going in the comments about what you think it is. Like I said, I'm a paranormal junkie. I don't think it was a hyena or a lion or anything like that. I think it had to be some kind of creature that we have no idea existed back then, or some kind of creature that isn't from this reality. So have a good night, guys. Here's this story, and remember, don't miss your chance to scream. The Beast of Gevaudan is among the most infamously bloodthirsty of all tales in cryptozoology. The body count of this beast ranges anywhere from 60 to over 300 people. Usually, the victims of the beast were found with their throats ripped out, some to the point of decapitation. Almost all of them were found partially eaten. Other victims were never found again. Scores of other people were either mauled or seriously injured during attacks. The Beast of Gevaudan differs from other predators because it didn't actively hunt for prey animals like sheep or cattle, and instead preferred the taste of long pig, or human flesh. It's estimated that 95% of animal-related deaths and attacks in Gévaudan during the reign of the beast were associated with the beast itself. History books confirm that something terrorized Gévaudan from 1764 to 1767, but none of them can accurately say what exactly the Beast of Gevaudan actually was. History doesn't argue that these events actually happened. The attack stretched over a 50 by 50 mile radius, and because of that, many researchers believe it may have been a pair or even a pack of these creatures wreaking terror on the countryside. Gévaudan itself was part of southern France and is now known as Lozère. Another reason there are theories that more than one of these creatures was lurking in the shadows is because of how many different descriptions it has for its appearance. It was said to be the size of a calf and had a flat head, but the reports of the fur ranged anywhere from reddish with a dark line down its spine, to red with a gray patch, red with stripes or spots, and other times it had black and white patches with no signs of red at all. Other times it was described as having spots on its side. It had a powerful tail that could knock its victims down, and a tassel at the end of that tail. All reports describe it as strong, able to carry a person off in its jaws, teeth powerful enough to split a human skull, and the ability to leap incredible distances. It had a tongue that was coarse and could rip the flesh off of bone, an unnatural roar, huge 6-inch wide paws, and claws that extended from those paws that could rip a man wide open. The beast was also said to be able to walk on its hind legs, just like a dogman, even though most of the time it was a quadruped. It seemed to be immune to bullets, also just like a dogman. Its eyes were like fire, and it had come back from the dead more than once. One man was quoted as saying, "This animal is a monster, whose father is a lion. It remains open what the mother is." It had a long wolf-like snout, a long yet muscular neck, small rounded ears that were close together on the top of its head, and long deadly teeth. The paws were even more of a mystery. Some described them as huge talons, while others said they were hooves. Hundreds of people over the centuries have tried to guess what this creature actually was. There's theories all over the place. A wolf-dog hybrid, a mutated wolf or bear, a lion, a hyena, a panther, even a serial killer. Sadly, we'll probably never know the real answer. Was there really more than one? Was it a pair of them, or a pack of them, or a mother with its young? The reign of the beast started in the summer of 1764, when a young girl was tending her family's cattle. The Beast of Gevaudan sprinted at her, trying to kill her, but the bulls that she was tending to banded together and drove the monster off. When it attempted it for a second time, the bulls banded together again and drove the beast back. It gave up and fled into the woods. Soon after that, though, 14-year-old Jean Boulet wasn't so lucky, and her half-eaten corpse was found near the village of Les Houbac. In the months that followed, reports of attacks exploded from all over the countryside. By December of that year, terror had gripped the area, and reports of a pair of beasts attacking men, women, and children that traveled alone spread like wildfire. Reports of attacks happening at the same time, miles and miles apart, made many fear there was more than one beast. Local officials and aristocrats were so frightened that the beast might never stop its rampage that they organized a platoon to track and kill the beast. Captain Jean Duhamel led a group of nearly 30,000 men to locate and slay the Beast of Gevaudan. They left poison bait in hopes of killing the monster, and even dressed up soldiers like women and left them alone in hopes that they could trick the beast and lure it out into the open. The reward for killing the beast rose past the amount that the average working man would make in an entire year. In October of 1764, 2 hunters encountered the beast and opened fire. The beast fell over, but sprang right back to its feet. They shot again and again. Each time the beast would fall over, but climb right back to its feet. As the beast fled, the hunters continued to hit it with their bullets, seemingly having no fatal effect on the creature itself. Locals got word of the story for the 2 hunters and followed the bloody trail into the woods the very next day, absolutely sure that they'd find the body of this beast, as it had finally succumbed to the wounds. But instead, they found the bodies of even more victims, killed that very day. Captain Duhamel continued his hunt for the beast, leading 57 of his own soldiers into the woods. Every time they thought the beast was cornered, it would escape from them and leave more bodies in its wake. January 12th of 1765, 8 children were attacked by the beast, and they were able to drive it away by sticking together. King Louis X heard word of the bravery of the children and ordered that all of them be educated at the state's expense. He then joined the hunt for the beast and promised help for Gévaudan. As the rewards grew, more and more hunters and villagers sought the beast. Over 100 wolves were slain during these hunts, but the killings, they never stopped. The beast could never be found. 3 weeks after the king promised to help Gévaudan, a man named Denneval arrived and began his hunt for the beast. He was soon joined by a 16-year-old boy named Jacques Denis. Jacques had watched his sister brutally killed by the beast and vowed revenge for her life. Jacques and Denneval bonded quickly and hunted the countryside for the beast. In March of 1765, a man was riding his horse and was attacked by the beast. With no other choice, he left his horse to be sacrificed to the jaws of the beast in order to save his own life. He locked himself in a mill, but the beast stalked him from the outside for hours until a young 17-year-old boy was unfortunate enough to stumble upon the scene. The beast ripped out his throat and went back into the woods. His bloodlust has seemingly been satisfied, if only for the moment. Later that very night, it killed another woman who tried to stop it from harming a young girl. 4 guards stayed by the woman's corpse all night, hoping the beast would come back. It didn't. Instead, it was across the village slaughtering sheep and injuring the man who owned them. He stuck his pitchfork in the neck of the beast, but it only caused the beast to turn and run. It didn't fatally wound him at all. Villagers tried everything to trap the beast, even using poisoned mannequins dressed as women, and another time using 3 children in an octagonal cage as bait. The king got word of this and ordered the stupidity to stop before more lives were lost. At one point, a man witnessed the beast stalking a boy in a field, and he got both of his brothers to help him kill the beast. 2 of the brothers managed to hit the beast, but it got away yet again. In May of 1765, in a brutal and bloody attack, the beast set its sights on the Great Spring Fair. There, it ripped out the throats of several people, including a young woman named Marguerite. Marguerite was a friend of Jacques Denis. Blinded by rage, he led a group of villagers into the woods with pitchforks and pikes to find and kill the beast once and for all. He found the beast and plunged his pitchfork into the chest of the monster. Of course, this had little effect, and had it not been for more hunters and villagers arriving on the scene, the Beast of Gevaudan would have claimed Jacques Denis as his next victim. Instead, the beast turned and ran away into the woods and disappeared again. After this, Denneval gave up his hunt and returned home. Shortly after, the beast went on another killing spree and claimed a 14-year-old boy, a 45-year-old woman, and ran off into the night with an infant. Now outraged, the king sent his personal gun-bearer, Antoine de Beauterne, to rid his country of this murderous beast. When Beauterne arrived, he started off by surveying the land, drawing out maps of the areas of attack, and talking with survivors. In August of 1765, Marie-Jeanne Vallée was crossing a river when she heard noises behind her. She turned around and came face to face with the beast itself. It leapt at her in an attempt to attack. Luckily, she had a spear with her and stabbed the beast in the chest. It was injured, but still far from dead, and ran away. She described the beast as an unusually large dog. From that day forward, Marie-Jeanne Vallée was known as the Maiden of Gévaudan. To this day, a statue of her stabbing the beast with a spear stands in her honor in the village of Ivers, which is in southern France. On September 20th, Beauterne led another group of 40 hunters and 12 dogs into a ravine that he believed housed the beast. They surrounded the ravine. They unleashed the hounds. They immediately went crazy. The beast appeared, and Beauterne opened fire. He hit the beast in its right shoulder. Another hunter struck the beast in the eye.
the bullet coming out the back of its skull, and it finally fell to the ground. It was dead. Buterin and the hunters sighed in relief. Finally, the beast that had terrorized the land for more than a year was lying dead at their feet. But to their horror, it sprang back up and charged Buterin. The hunters opened fire, pelting the beast with bullets. It turned to run, wounded and outnumbered, but only sprinted a few steps before falling to the ground again. This time, it wouldn't be getting back up. By the time the beast was killed, it had been shot over a dozen times. Some of those shots were fired at close range. They brought the beast back with them, and after an examination, it was ruled to be a little over 6 feet, weighing 143 pounds, with a huge head and fangs that were over an inch long. Buterin stated, "We declare by present report, signed by our hand, we never saw a big wolf that could be compared to this one, which is why we estimate this could be the fearsome beast that caused so much damage." Buterin had the wolf stuffed and sent to Versailles as a gift to the king. He was praised as a hero and rewarded with money and titles. Over a year passed before the beast returned, and the killings started once again. In the spring of 1767, 2 men were seriously injured by the beast, and the lives of 12 more victims were claimed. Jean Chastel, a friend of Jacques Denis and his sister, joined the hunt this time. He'd heard rumors that the beast was supernatural and brought silver bullets that were blessed by a priest with him. He said if the stories of the beast being a werewolf were true, he wasn't going to be caught off guard. It's said that Chastel picked a known hunting spot and waited for the beast to return, sitting there calmly and reading his Bible. Finally, the beast appeared, and they locked eyes. Before the beast could kill Chastel, he raised his rifle and put 2 silver bullets into the chest of the beast. The beast fell over dead. This beast resembled the creature that Buterin had killed over a year earlier, only bigger, and when the beast was opened up, human remains were found in its belly. The Beast of Gevaudan was mounted and displayed throughout the kingdom, but by the time it arrived at the royal palace in Versailles, it had decomposed so much that the king ordered it to be buried or burned. And to this day, if it was buried, the whereabouts of the beast remain unknown. So, what the hell was the Beast of Gevaudan? A dogman? A werewolf? Something else? Some scientists think it was a natural predator in an alien environment, like a lion or a hyena. Lions do have the jaw power to crush skulls just like the beast did, and the hyena somewhat matches most of the descriptions, but hyenas don't leave much of a kill behind. Some people say that Chastel, or Chastel's son, was a serial killer and trained a wolf to kill for him. More than one survivor has said that they saw a man with the beast, so that is a possibility. Other scientists have gone on record saying they think the beast was actually just a pack of large wolves that were preying on an isolated population. But wolves aren't really known for crushing skulls, or for removing heads for that matter. There's another theory out there that's a little more extreme. They think the Beast of Gevaudan really was a natural predator in an alien environment, but the alien environment was time itself. Just like the Loch Ness Monster, it could have been a prehistoric creature living in our time. That the beast was an ancient predator called a Mysonokids. It looked like a hyena, and was the size of a horse. And Mysonokids had hooves, so that could explain why people thought that the claws looked just like hooves. So, was this beast transported through time? Was it living in the past and ended up in the present? Gévaudan has also been described as an enchanted, isolated forest where the forces of nature still run wild. Whatever the case may be, we might never find out. Or, we might be unlucky enough to experience something as wild as an animal that's long been extinct being transported into our time and going on a wild hunt until somebody can slay it. What do you think it was?